Welcome to Animals Wow TV. Today we'll look at the top 10 deadliest animals you're glad are extinct. Stay until number 1 for an animal that would have stung you to death. Number 10. The Dinosuukis. When we talk about prehistoric animals, dinosaurs always take center stage. But dinos are just a small blip in the Earth's entire history. There are other animals infinitely more deadly than dinos. We're talking about creatures that have longer teeth, monstrous sizes, and more ferocious attitudes than your average T-Rex. We'll be looking at 10 of them. And since we talked about the T-Rex, let's start with the animal that could take on a T-Rex and win. And not just win, but clobber the king of dinos. It's called the Dinosuukis, and it's the great up to 100 degrees great-grandparent of our modern-day crocodiles. CGI effects may make it look like your average scary croc, but consider these stats. It grew up to 40 feet in length. That's 4 times the size of the biggest crocs today. Fossils of T-Rex have shown traces of the Dinosuukis' sharp teeth. What it does is it waits in the water, and when a T-Rex or any other animal comes for a drink, it uses its front teeth to grab at the unsuspecting animal's neck or leg. Once it's gotten a firm hold of the dinosaur, this megacroc will not let go and instead pull its prey into the water to drown it. Once the prey is dead, it's buffet time. Now, if it could kill a T-Rex, imagine what it could do to a human. Probably use us as toothpicks. And we're really glad it's extinct. Number 9. The Titanoboa. Take a gigantic titan from Greek mythology, then fuse it with a boa constrictor. And what monster do you get? A Titanoboa. This colossal snake is the largest of its kind to ever exist. It grew up to 50 feet long and weighed over 2,500 pounds. But scientists can't quite get a handle on how big it really grew, because they haven't discovered a full vertebra in one place just yet. For comparison, our anacondas today can grow only up to 29 feet long and weigh up to 550 pounds. It lived about 60 million years ago, a little bit after the dinosaurs went extinct. With ferocious dinos all died out, the Titanoboa took its place as the biggest and baddest predator in the tropics of prehistoric Earth, what we now call South America. It had a penchant for crushing its prey with its long body. It could squeeze with a pressure of 400 pounds per square inch. Experts from the Smithsonian think this is like being crushed by the weight of 3 Eiffel Towers. If the two had met, the Titanoboa could have squished the T-Rex like a tube of toothpaste and then swallow it whole. If it could do that to a large animal, then imagine what it could do to us. Probably send us flying with just a flick of its tail. So, we're really glad it's extinct. Number 8. The Direwolf. Stories about gigantic wolves have been around for centuries. There's the famous big bad wolf of fairy tales like Red Riding Hood and 3 Little Pigs. There's Fenrir, the son of Loki, and a giantess named Angerboda. Yep, that Loki from Norse mythology. This wolf is destined to kill Odin during Ragnarok. Then there's the she-wolf that nursed the twins Romulus and Remus, founders of ancient Rome. In recent years, we've seen that the werewolves of Twilight that turn into humongous wolves. And the direwolves of the House of Stark from Game of Thrones. Did you know that 1 out of those 5 wolves actually existed on Earth? If you guessed Fenrir, you gotta stop playing video games. It's actually the direwolf. In the heart of Los Angeles, there's a spot called La Brea Tar Pits, and fossils of direwolves have been found here. These fossils give a clue to a species of wolves about the same length as modern gray wolves, but with stronger jaws and much heavier bodies. Think wolves that are twice the size of German Shepherd dogs. Speaking of jaws, the direwolf could crush the bone of its favorite food, the Western horse, with one snap. Though Game of Thrones made them look really cool, we're still glad direwolves died out 10,000 years ago. Number 7. The Smilodon. If you've watched our other videos, you'll know that we feature tigers quite a bit, especially our videos about predators. Well, if you think modern tigers are scary, then its ancestors' scary level would probably hit the roof. Meet the Smilodon, more widely known as the saber-toothed tiger. Close, but not quite the saber-tooth we're talking about. Like modern tigers, the Smilodon had well-developed forelimbs. Unlike modern tigers, the Smilodon had enormous jaws and fangs that could grow up to 11 inches in length. It loved to hunt large herbivores like bisons or camels, but any mammal was fair game to this apex predator. Scary meter rising fast? Well, let's hit that bell. This gigantic cat lived in North America until around 13,000 years ago. Around the same time, direwolves were patrolling the area as well. For Homo sapiens, this means that some of our human ancestors were gorged by the 6-inch long fangs of the Smilodon at one point or another. The only thing we can say is we're glad it died out 10,000 years ago. Modern tigers are scary enough. Number 6. The Hallucigenia monsi. Here's a capybara. Here's a capybara enjoying an open-air bath. And here's a capybara chilling with animals because lots of creatures consider it their BFF. So if you've just seen evidence of the capybara being pretty much one of the friendliest creatures on Earth, now meet its ancestor, the Hallucigenia monsi. This massive rodent was bigger than a bull, growing at over 10 feet in length, excluding its 5-foot tail, and it's estimated to have weighed at least a ton. Plus, it had foot-long incisors. With stats like these, it's not hard to see why scientists call it Ratzilla. It lived 4 to 2 million years ago in the deltas of South America. Researchers believe that it used its incisors, like an elephant's tusk, to root around in the dirt for its food and to fight off its predators. It may have been a herbivore, but would you really want to go against a gigantic rat with a bite that could fight off gigantic prehistoric predators? Probably not. So we're really glad it's no longer alive. We're halfway through. Are you enjoying this video? Then please take a moment to like and subscribe to our channel. Remember to hit the notification button for regular updates of our informative and exciting animal videos. Number 5. The Hallucigenia fortis. We featured animals that have pretty much been gigantors. Our next one is less than 2 inches long, but we guarantee it will give you nightmares. Meet the Hallucigenia fortis. Just like what its name sounds like, this animal looks like it's something you'd see if you're high on hallucinogenic stuff. First off, it's an ancestor of the worms we see today. It had a head, but no nose, eyes, or ears. It had 3 pairs of tentacles behind the head. And on each side of its body, it had 7 pincer-tipped tentacles that look like legs and feet. Some researchers believe that these pincers may have had mouths. On top of the body, it also had 7 pairs of spiky dorsal fins. The Hallucigenia fortis may be smaller than even modern worms. Did you know that the largest earthworm in the world is the gigantic Gippsland earthworm found in Australia? It can grow up to 6.6 feet. But compare a gigantic worm and a worm that can walk up to you and wave its tentacles at you. Which do you think you'll avoid more? We know what we'd avoid, and we're glad it's dead. Number 4. The Audestus. One look at this shark is enough to understand why it's part of our list. Sharks in general look like they gladly chomp on you, and lots of people are scared of them, except for Christina Zanato, who we featured for taking out more than 300 hooks from the mouths of hundreds of sharks. But the Audestus is something else entirely, and we're not even sure that Christina can go near it. It's so scary that some scientists even call it the dino shark with the snout of doom. And although experts still don't know this animal's exact form, there's one thing they're sure of. The Audestus didn't shed teeth like modern sharks do. It grew new teeth and gums near the back of its mouth. The older teeth and gums would be pushed forward, and its jaw would adjust by curling outward. So the Audestus developed its own pair of gigantic pinking shears. With a mouth like this, we're glad the Audestus no longer swims in our seas. The great white shark is already scary enough. Number 3. The Megapiranha paranesis. Piranhas. You've seen these creatures before, probably not in real life, but definitely in animal documentaries and scary movies. After all, piranhas are small but deadly creatures that are the stuff of nightmares. As an example, here's an aquarium full of piranhas eating a chicken. Imagine what a megapiranha can do to this carcass. The piranha's ancestor weighed up to 30 pounds and grew over 3 feet in length. It lived 10 to 6 million years ago and ate the snakes, gigantic fish, and crocodiles of South American waters. Piranhas can exert a force that's 50 times its weight. So if a megapiranha was alive today, it could crush cars with its jaws. That's a bite that's stronger than a megalodon's bite. For comparison, modern piranhas weigh only up to 2 pounds and grow up to 20 inches. It may sound weird, but we're okay with these small piranhas, as long as those mega piranhas no longer exist. Number 2. The terror bird. Officially, this creature is called Fortis, but even scientists like to call it terror bird, because this name sounds way cooler and it gives people a pretty good idea of how deadly and fearsome this prehistoric creature was. Scientists believe that the animals started roaming North and South America starting from 60 million years ago. They grew up to 10 feet tall. They were apex predators, and the one thing that made them a terror to other prehistoric animals were their large, hooked beaks. These were so strong and sharp that they could crush skulls with a snap and crack heads with a strike of these beaks. And it could do this without the need to fly. The 2016 movie about terror birds was, well, let's just say it tried hard. But it couldn't capture how deadly, how horrifying, and how lethal these animals were. And we're glad that the movie isn't real, and that the terror birds haven't existed for 2 million years. Number 1. The Pulmonoscorpius curdinensis. And here we are, the top of our list. Before we discuss our top pick, let's pause for some trivia. Did you know that scorpions can be found on all continents except Antarctica? Even though people are scared of them because of their stings, only about 25 of over 1,700 species have venom in their stings that can kill humans. This second piece of trivia may make you less scared of scorpions, but don't let your guard down just yet. Meet the Pulmonoscorpius curdinensis, the giant scorpion that lived about 345 million years ago. Fossils found in Scotland indicate that it grew up to 30 inches in length, and that's practically 3 feet long. Imagine coming across a scorpion this big. It'd be hard to kick it away or pick it up by its tail and throw it far away from you. Actually, it might just decide to flick you away with its claw. Now we're wondering which could win, the Pulmonoscorpius or the Scorpion King. In any case, we're sure glad these scorpions are now extinct. There you have it, our top 10 deadliest animals you're glad are extinct. Which one are you most glad is no longer alive today? Share your answer in the comment section below. Don't forget to click the like button and to subscribe to our channel. And while you're here, you might want to check out our video on the woman who took out 300 hooks from the mouth of sharks.